Sarve Santu Niramaya.
Buenos días. Mi nombre es Juan Carlos Ruiz. I am a son of undocumented Mexican immigrants, and I am the Reverend Pastor of the Shepherd Lutheran Church.
Please welcome the Mayor of the City of New York, Mamdani.
Maybe a faith breakfast, but it's still New York City. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. What a privilege it is to be here with you all. Because while this city may have only one mayor, it has countless leaders. When our neighbors seek to make sense of a world where sense is not there to be found, they often turn first, not to those that they elected, but to you. I thank you for welcoming me today, and for all that you do, in ways seen and unseen, for those you serve. Faith, we are told, is the belief in things unseen. And while it certainly took faith to imagine a thing truly unseen, a path to victory, it was nothing. It was nothing compared to the faith I saw New Yorkers summon just to make it through the day. Faith that the bus would arrive. Faith that somehow, some way, the rent would get paid. Faith that a leader would place the concerns of the many before the interests of the few. I saw that faith everywhere. On subways and street corners, at forums and front doors. And increasingly, as the winter snow melted into the renewal of spring and then the heat of summer, I found it where many New Yorkers return, week after week, in search of meaning. You welcomed a stranger into your sanctuaries. And whether we were together at shul, at church services on a Saturday or Sunday morning, at a gurdwara or a mosque or a mandir or a temple, New Yorkers told me of the worries they hold close, the dreams that they refuse to let go. What a gift they gave me. Not just understanding our city better, but understanding how close we truly are. Because for all of our different faiths, we share a common belief that our city can be restored and that it must. That the wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the history of the world has enough for everyone to live a life of dignity. That we need not worship the same God to share the same values or to fight for the same future. If anything unifies every religion across our city, it is an understanding of faith, not solely as a tool for reflection, but as a call to action.
But the most impressive was the words of our mayor. Mayor Mamdani is resolute about his intention to help protect all New Yorkers. So I really appreciated the way he spoke. He probably memorized his speech because it was flawless. And he recognized so many people and so many people of different backgrounds, quoting from different spiritual texts. So he definitely embraces all of us in a way that's beautiful. Mamdani is a great mayor. I'm a Muslim.
Okay.
I associate also with Muridiya, which is a Sufi branch in Senegal. Actually, it's international, but it's the International Sufi School is my Okay, well, Bettina Bamba is my name.
Okay.
But I took my last name from my Sheikh Amadou Bamba in Senegal.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But it was interesting because my first name I chose the Bettina when I was a teenager, and it came back to me through how do you call it? A spiritual guide told me your name is Bettina, and I had forgotten about it.
Beautiful.
So it just got back
Amazing.
to me. So my name is Bettina.
Amazing. Thank you,
All
Miss
right,
Bettina.
nice.
Standing before you today, I think of Deuteronomy 10:17-18, which describes the Lord as one who shows no partiality and accepts no bribes. He defends the cause of the orphan and the widow, and loves the stranger residing among you, giving them food and clothing. Over the past 15 months, New Yorkers of all faiths built a movement inspired by that cause of the orphan, the widow, and the stranger. Seniors spent hours making phone calls to strangers because they believed every child deserves childcare. If that is not defending the cause of the orphan, what is? Neighbors climbed 6th-floor walk-ups to knock doors because they believed a single mother in a rent-stabilized apartment should be able to sleep easily on the last night of the month, knowing that her rent would not climb the next day. If that is not defending the cause of the widow, what is?
I represent a Bhutanese community. I'm from Bhutan, and this is our national dress.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah, and we are predominantly a Buddhist country.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And what do you think about the mayor's speech?
Oh, fantastic! Excellent. Yeah. There's no comparison. It brought tears to my eyes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you feel now represented under this administration?
Oh, of course, yes. Ever since he, ran for the office, I knew that he's going to stand for the people, and that's what exactly he's doing it. Drawing all the essences from all the faiths, and then it's not just reading the words, but translating the words of all the faith into action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How big is your community in New York City?
It's pretty small compared to the population of New York City, but no formal survey has been done, but it's expected to be around 5,000 to 6,000 people.
And today, my friends, I want to reflect on the third charge, loving the stranger. Across this country, day after day, we bear witness to cruelty that staggers the conscience. Masked agents, paid by our own tax dollars, violate the Constitution and visit terror upon our neighbors. They arrive as if atop a pale horse, and they leave a path of wreckage in their wake. People ripped from their cars, guns drawn against the unarmed, families torn apart, lives shattered, quietly, swiftly, brutally. If these are not attacks upon the stranger among us, what is? This cruelty is no faraway concept. ICE operates here in New York, in our courthouses, our workplaces. They skulk at 26 Federal Plaza, the same building where I waited in fear as my father had his citizenship interview. If these are not attacks upon the stranger among us, what is? ICE is more than a rogue agency. It is a manifestation of the abuse of power. And it is also new. It was founded only in 2002. 4 mayors ago, it did not exist. Its wrongs need not be treated as inevitable or inherited. In fact, we know that there is no reforming something so rotten and so base.
I'm happy for this gathering because they make the New York City together. Everybody sit down, Jews, Muslim, Christian, Buddhists, everybody, every faith-based leader coming to this. Every religion. I'm happy for that.
I think of a story that Reverend Galbraith, the senior pastor at Clarendon Road Church who is here with us today, shared recently. 2 Haitian immigrants in his congregation, a father and son, had traveled to 26 Federal Plaza for fingerprinting. The man's wife, the boy's mother, had gone the week before without incident. They thought little of the trip. It was routine. In New York, surely, one would be safe at an appointment like this. And then without explanation or warning, they were whisked away. ICE took them first to the Brooklyn Detention Center. The next day, they were flown to Louisiana. They felt hopeless and helpless, Reverend Galbraith said. Hopeless and helpless. If these are not attacks upon the stranger among us, what is? As the federal government attacks our neighbors, those who worship in just the next pew over, they command us not to believe what we see. They compel us, as George Orwell wrote nearly 80 years ago, to reject the evidence of our eyes and our ears. And they would succeed, were it not for the many among us who have not only read the scripture, but who live the scripture. Those who refuse to abandon the stranger. I speak of Renee Good, whose final words to the man who murdered her moments later were, "I'm not mad at you." I speak of Alex Preddy, who died as he lived, caring for the stranger. Here was a man who held the hand of the afraid and the afflicted in their final moments. Here was a man who dedicated his life to healing those he had never met. ICE shot him 10 times because he did something they could never fathom doing themselves. He extended his arm towards a stranger, not to push her down, but to help her up. I speak of the tens of thousands across our city and our nation who took to snowbound streets in the dead of winter, refusing to allow those with the most power to impose their will upon those with the least. If that is not love for the stranger among us, what is?
I'm Imam Safraz Bacchus. I'm a spiritual leader for a mosque in Queens that has been here in New York since 1977. 1977, over 40-something years. The message from the mayor was touching to the heart. He resonated very well. And I don't know, there's something about his words really touched my heart. You know, as a spiritual leader, he resonated with everyone. He is a mayor that is inclusive for everyone.
That's important.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah.
In a moment such as this, I look to the Bhagavad Gita, which teaches us that the highest calling is to become someone who sees the true equality of all living beings and responds to the joys and sorrows of others as if they were their own. Each of us has been a stranger at one point in our lives. Each of us has known the feeling of arriving somewhere new alone, of depending on the kindness of someone else. As ICE fosters a culture of suspicion and fear, let this city of strangers set an example for how to make the sorrows of others our own. Let us offer a new path, one of defiance through compassion. In so doing, we can offer something more expansive and durable than a mere rejection of atrocity. We can rely on our faith to offer an embrace of one another. After all, few forces hold as much power to extend humanity to all.
It's a good mix to represent the diversity of our city. You know, I think the little things make a big difference. The details really allow for people to feel a sense of belonging, and to be in a place where our sense of diversity doesn't mean that we're all the same, but we're able to really appreciate our differences and still be in space together. And New York City is one of the few places where you have people of all walks of life, and it doesn't always have to be tokenizing. It can be a sense that we can all be in the same spaces without having to leave behind who we are.
The speech was very powerful, so good for New Yorkers to remember who we are, that we welcome strangers, and that everybody is a New Yorker who lives in New York City. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
As Dr. King once said, the church is the one place where a doctor ought to forget that he's a doctor. The church is the one place where the lawyer ought to forget that he's a lawyer. When the church is true to its nature, it says, whosoever will, let him come. That doctrine, whosoever will, let him come, is not limited to Christianity. Each of our faiths asks us the same. I think of Exodus 23:9, the words of the Torah. Thou shalt not oppress a stranger, for ye know the heart of a stranger, seeing ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Few have stood so steadfast alongside the persecuted as Jewish New Yorkers. I think of Michael Schwerner and Andrew Goodman, who gave their lives alongside James Chaney so that all could exercise the right to the franchise. I think of Rabbi Heschel, who marched from Selma alongside Dr. King. And I think of Yip Harper, who wrote Somewhere Over the Rainbow and uplifted Americans waiting on bread lines during the Great Depression. I think of the freedom from suffering that Buddhism teaches us is only possible if we remove the three poisons of desire, hatred, and ignorance from our daily lives.
That you did the work that you did in Gaza, helping everybody over there. How was that trip?
Well, you know, I actually haven't been able to go into Gaza. It's nice to see you. You're doing well. Still a lot of restrictions, you know. We're trying our best to get as close as possible. Trucks are getting in, but not definitely as much as needed. But still, whatever we can do to make sure that we're not forgetting people, especially with everything that's happening in the world, you know? Yeah, but the stories of individuals from all over Palestine, people who we've met from Gaza, still a really bad situation there, and it needs all of our attention to make sure that we're doing our part.
They cannot be forgotten.
They can't be forgotten, yeah.
Thank you for your time.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
We need not accept suffering as unchangeable. We need not treat hatred as the natural state. We have the power to set ourselves free. And I consider my own faith, Islam, a religion built upon a narrative of migration. The story of the Hijrah reminds us that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was a stranger too, who fled Mecca and was welcomed in Medina. Surah An-Nahl 1642 tells us, "As for those who immigrated in the cause of Allah after being persecuted, we will surely bless them with a good home in this world." Or as the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Islam began as something strange and will go back to being strange. So glad tidings to the strangers." If faith, we will stand with the stranger today, tomorrow, and all the days that are still to come. And that is why this morning, right here in this moment, I shall sign an executive order that will uphold our city's protection not just of our fellow immigrant New Yorkers, but of all New Yorkers from abusive immigration enforcement.
I think more than 150 groups were there.
Wow, that's amazing. And which one you represent? Which community?
We represent Sikh community.
Oh, how big is that in New York?
How big is that? It's very difficult to say, but we are very visible community in New York City. Because we are the minority which are visible.
So you feel more represented now under Mamdani administration?
Yeah, representation is there. It was before also. So we have to make sure how it works for minorities, you know. As long as results are good, we will be happy.
I think we always experience times of darkness, and sometimes you go through it and appreciate the light that much more. And things are heavy, definitely, but there's always a lot of good people like our new mayor who are going to stand up for what's right and ensure that they do their best to make sure that those that the world forgets are not forgotten.
This order is a sweeping reaffirmation of our commitment to our immigrant neighbors and to public safety as a whole. We will make it clear, once again, that ICE will not be able to enter New York City property without a judicial warrant. That means we will protect New Yorkers' private data from being unlawfully accessed by the federal government and state property. Against any effort to intrude on our privacy. No New Yorker should be afraid to apply for city services like childcare because they are an immigrant. This order mandates that essential city agencies are complying with city laws and directs them to conduct thorough audits of all policies guiding agency interactions with immigration authorities. And it will establish an interagency response committee so that in the event of a major crisis, we are ready and equipped to do the job of protecting New Yorkers.
And the speech was very inspirational, and especially with the faith-based organizations that were all here. It's very encouraging.
Which religion do you represent?
Christian faith.
Based on where?
in the Bronx. Yes.
We need our faith leaders with us. Your moral clarity, your integrity, they are the pillars upon which countless movements for justice have been built. Many of you have long practiced the tradition of supporting the forgotten and the downtrodden. When our immigrant neighbors are in trouble, they often turn first to their faith networks for counsel, for legal aid, for someone to accompany them to court. Today, I call upon you to help us give language to courage. Help us remind New Yorkers that they are not alone. We have prepared 30,000 guides to New Yorkers' rights in 10 languages, the ones most spoken by some of the most heavily targeted populations in our city, teaching our neighbors what to do if ICE targets them.
The mayor's speech was great. I thought his focus for me was very important. It was on immigration, and as a Latino, we're being affected significantly by the Trump administration policies, and he said that New York City was going to stand up to Trump and stand up to his policies, that New York enforcement was not going to cooperate with ICE only when they were very dangerous criminals, but not that they weren't going to be allowed to go into schools, to hospitals. They weren't going to be allowed to go into places that would normally be considered safe. So I was happy about
the event, sir.
I think it's an amazing event that needs to be continued. So I'm glad the mayor has chosen to do just that. Thank you.
I urge you to share these with your congregants, even those who are citizens, even those whom you think ICE may not target. These materials apply to us all. Those who have been here for 5 generations, those who arrived last year. They apply to us all because the obligation is upon us all. To love thy neighbor, to look out for the stranger. If we are to truly champion the cause of the stranger, let these materials serve as instructions for how to stand in solidarity. If anything can turn back the rising tide of hatred, it is a chorus of those who worship differently and live differently, singing the same undaunted song. For we are all New Yorkers, and yet that has not always been accepted. My friends, for as long as people have called this city their home, a question has been contested. Who is a New Yorker? At each juncture, many have sought to narrow the answer. The stranger has been ostracized on job postings, on placards denying entry to restaurants and shops, in neighborhoods where only some New Yorkers were allowed to live. Every conceivable crack has been exploited into a chasm of division. On every occasion where the forces of darkness have raised the question, who is a New Yorker? The people of the city have offered our own answer. All of us. And yet we know that answer is not permanent, nor is it predetermined. Each generation must assert what we know to be true, because New York serves as living proof. We are stronger when we welcome the stranger.
I think, one of the things that I think about his speech is that each of our holy scriptures calls us to this work. And the pulled from all of our scriptures and all of our holy texts to remind us of the work that we're all called to do.
And your name?
I'm Hank.
Hank?
Yes.
And you represent who?
I'm an Episcopal priest.
Episcopal priest?
Yes.
In New York City?
I'm on Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Yes.
Oh, good. Welcome,
Thank
Staten
you.
Island.
Thank you.
Always good, the Staten Island representation.
I know.
Yeah, it's very important.
It is.
Everybody together. The 5 boroughs.
There's 5 boroughs.
5 boroughs. No
Don't
4.
forget us. We
5.
are
There you go. You guys.
You have a good one.
Thank you.
The message of unity, and we live in a very diverse city, and diversity is our strength, right? So we gotta celebrate in every way, in our religion, in our culture.
So let us answer the question, who is a New Yorker, once more, with conviction and without shame. It is all of us. So together, New York, let us advance the cause of the orphan. Together, New York, let us advance the cause of the widow. Together, New York, let us love the stranger among us, because we are them and they are us. Thank you.
focus should be on people of color before, not just tonight. We should have been defending this a long time ago, not just because it is. We should have come together years ago, not just tonight. So we need to remember that this was a setup from yesterday, and we cannot not let this happen to not just them, to any of us, ever. I'm a Babalao. I practice Ifa. I'm also an Oluo of Ogboni. So if you understand Voodoo, if you understand Santeria, if you understand Lukumi, that's the origins come from Africa. That's what I practice. Thank you. I've been born here. And what the disgusting situation out of the White House is disgusting. What they're doing is disgusting. But Martin Luther King said it the best. He said, I understand people in the White House, but when our cousins look the other way, it's the problem. So don't look the other way now. Don't ever look the other way. Ever.
Thank you so much.
The mayor's speech. Not gonna dog. No comment.
Showbiz, showtime. We rolling?
I'm so excited.
Aladino.
There's a famous actor right here.
We would all just have to watch your show. It's about to begin.
It's going to be a lot of fun watching.
AladinoTV.
Beautiful.
Passion commune.
Okay, you keep watching here.
On the Ladino Show. Thank you for taking your time.
It's free.
Go home and getting naked.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully I'll have those shoes on when they put me in that museum.
Oh, God.
Look at those shoes.